Alrighty, so for those who have been following this tank setup, it is time for clay balls, soil, and plants. So I'm just going to start adding my clay balls. My silicone is completely dried at this point. I did install, if you see here, I did make and silicone in some fake bracket mushrooms. Just because I like the look of them. So I am going to do at least an inch of the clay balls. Whoops, one hit the floor. Simply because it is a tropical environment, so it's going to have excess moisture. But I also want enough room to have enough soil because my Inhabitant is kind of a burrower. So I think I'm going to stop there. Grab the one I dropped. So there we go. Layer of clay balls. Next comes the layer of weed cloth. I just bought a big roll of weed guard. Some come with pesticides, so you do have to kind of look out and keep an eye on that. So I'm just going to put this in here and kind of tuck it around. Oh, I see it's a bit too big, so I apologize. I thought I had this pre-cut right. So yeah, and I'm just gonna fold it over instead. Just call it good. There we go. I'm okay with a little overlap, I just don't want a lot. So there. So that is my weed guard down. Now it's time for soil. So, as I discussed in a previous video, my soil blend, I will briefly go over it again. It is 1 bag of Nature's Care by Miracle-Gro, organic potting soil. It is one of the only safe products by Miracle-Gro for VIVs. It is 1 small bag of orchid bark mix from my local greenhouse, and that involves orchid bark, the little balls of perlite, which are the white things you see in there, and then horticulture charcoal. I added leaf litter and sphagnum moss to my blend as well to keep bugs happy, to keep plants happy. So yeah, and I'm going to kind of mound it to the back because I want my Inhabitant to have enough stuff to dig in. I think maybe like another scoop to a half scoop. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Where does that get me? I want my soil layer pretty much right up to the top here, but like I said, I want it sloping up in the back. So yeah, I can add the rest here. Alrighty, so soil installed. Now it's time for plants, and I'm going to start with the air mounting ones simply because they're going to be easiest. I have this guy again. As I said before, he is an air mount style. You just have to, I put sphagnum moss around him because I want the roots to stay, at least retain some moisture, because it's really dry here. So I actually want him up here. So I'm going to tuck the sphagnum moss down in there. And just like that, he should be good there. I'm going to go with my air plants next. Excuse my reach across the camera. So we have the 3 air plants. So puppy, you're fine. You just went outside not that long ago. I apologize. Hopefully he doesn't whine through this entire video. So these guys are going to be a bit tricky. I think I'm just going to have to put this one. I think they're going to have to share this hole. So this one I'm going to put there. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause video. Okay, dog's been let out. He shouldn't bother us. So that one I put there. This one, I really think I want him here, because that just looks right. I know it's kind of hard to see where I'm putting these. I'll give you like an overview top shot when I get done. Let's see this one. Where can I put him? Maybe, yeah, if I kind of tuck her down a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so air plants here, I'll give you the top shot. Air plants have now been installed in their nice little cubbies and holes and such. So they're fine where they're at. As this is a tropical environment, they're not going to need to be taken out and soaked in water once a week once the mister is up and running. So now onto my dwarf palm, and I'm going to put him back in this corner. So I'm going to kind of dig a little hole back here, work him out of the pot, just kind of tuck him back in there. Beat some dirt out. Okay. I'm going to work the soil back in around his roots. And there we go. That one is planted. So the last plant I had was the wandering Jew. It's definitely not done cycling out its pesticides and fertilizers from the soil, but they take extremely well to just clipping and planting, so I'm just going to clip some tendrils off of it and plant them and call it good. The main plant I guess I'll keep and plant it, you know, put it somewhere in my house. It'll look good wherever. So I got one tendril there, trying to find the longest ones. 2, I'm going to go with 3. Because they are pretty prolific growers. So all I did was cut 3 stems off of the mother plant, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna put them back in this corner. So I'm just gonna put these ends down in and then pack the soil around it. Get in here. So they won't show a lot of growth right away, but they will come into it on their own. So that is it for my plants. I'm done. I'm planted. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get my bugs and we will introduce those. Okay, so now I have my bugs. I just went into my crusty tank and picked up a couple of pieces of wood and banged it in here. And I'm going to try to get it to focus. So you can see, maybe, here, it'll probably be easier if I go like this. So there's some isopods. There's, my springtails in that tank are surprisingly large. They're like pushing a grain of rice. So they're good. And I'm not adding that many because this tank is probably going to sit dormant for a while until its inhabitant actually gets here because it's too cold for shipping. So I'm just going to dump them in. Welcome to your home, guys. Oops. Get out of there. There we go. So bugs introduced. They're all going to crawl and get to their happy space. Now the last thing I'm going to do is add my cork rounds for the inhabitants. So I think I'm just gonna go with the 1. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on. So I have a second flat, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. So that is the tank. Let's get the camera off here. I'll give you a little closer up view here. So here is the tank fully planted, and now it has boogies. So I'm going to add some more leaf litter. I'll probably put some there and there just for the buggies, and I'm probably going to throw some veggie scraps in there too. So here's a top view of my tank. And my tank is planted and bugged and ready. So usually, because the plants once again just went through a new cycle of like getting their roots messed with, try to give them a week before you add before you add the inhabitant, just because those plants will want an adjustment period. But you're basically good to go. I mean, if I was adding dart frogs, I'd add them right now because they won't really mess with the plants. So yeah, that is it. Tropical tank done. I think it looks great. I love it. I can't wait for the stuff to grow in and vines to get everywhere. So yeah, I'm gonna water these plants and get it set up where it belongs because it doesn't belong on my kitchen table. I am done. The next video will be me introducing my inhabitant to this tank. Bye-bye.